Hey YouTube fam, welcome back to another food vlog. Hope you guys are good. In today's food vlog, we'll be doing breakfast, lunch and dinner. I hope you guys will enjoy watching. So for breakfast, we'll be doing diced up potatoes with egg and bacon. I have done a similar recipe in one of my previous vlogs. I will put the link down below. The only difference is the last time those baked beans, my cheese and those scrambled eggs. So I started off with my potatoes because they take longer to cook up. I used 2 potatoes kanori daisa yana before adding to the air fryer basket. I then spiced up my potatoes with onion powder and paprika. So this was onion powder. You're more than welcome to use any spices you want to use. And then this was the paprika, chili powder and tontoni. So obviously it's my pinkish because of the paprika. This guy no panic attack. And then I added salt. Please also remember to add oil. That's something that I didn't show on screen. It's a spacey for the bacon. So you can try this method of putting your bacon in the air fryer. Some prefer the pan method, but if you're gonna use the air fryer method, I'd recommend bumayang 5 to 6 minutes, obviously turning it on both ends. So I added the basket into the air fryer and then go 180 degrees for like 15 minutes, obviously turning it on the different sides more, just so that it doesn't burn up. So the main focus was the bacon first round, then focused on the potatoes after. So when I felt like the bacon was fine, well, to my preference, then I just took out the 2 strips, plating. So you just check up on your bacon if you're using the air fryer method. And then from there on, we're gonna leave our potatoes again air frying, obviously just mixing them around your whole basket so that the oil greases everything up. And then while that is cooking in the air fryer, I just did the egg on a pan. Guys, when it comes to cooking, experimenting, that's the only way you're gonna learn. Experiment and a good shame. So I just added butter and my egg. I'm not an egg fan, so if I was to confess, I was just doing this for aesthetic, but I only eat the white part and then the yolk I don't really eat unless rotella oyster sauce and stuff like that. So this was my egg. Added the potatoes. Yes, they look reddish because of the chili powder, and then got a mini fruit salad. And then with the energy I had from the breakfast, I decided to make dessert, which is the Malva pudding for this vlog. And these are all the ingredients listed on screen. I started off with my 2 eggs, apricot jam and butter. So all measurements are down there in white by the caption don't on screen. So 2 eggs, apricot jam and the butter. Measurements also, if I didn't say, will be on screen or before we start with our measurements and pouring and So firstly we're gonna start with the eggs, butter and the apricot jam, and then our essence. So I used caramel essence instead of vanilla essence because this is what I could find. Like I said, when it comes to the kitchen, you need to experiment, but have a limit to your experimentations. Then we're gonna mix everything up together. So this is our first batch of ingredients. I started with the whisker, but the whisker was not whisking, so I had to use an electric mixer because the jam was not mixing. So I think the best advice I could give is take your jam out of the fridge. Then I added sugar, brown sugar. This was probably a cup of sugar. Then I mixed. And la bona hore jam ya rona e meltile, it's a magic. Mix. Then we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of vinegar. So vinegar your baking soda usually is my active ingredients, science, So those 2, just make sure you pour enough but not too much. Added my milk after the vinegar, and then I sifted flour. This was 2 cups of flour if I'm not mistaken, but I will correct below, and then a teaspoon of baking powder. After the baking powder, I added bicarbonate of soda. I just don't know if baking soda and bicarbonate of soda is two different things, but please correct me down below if maybe, you know. And then this was the beginning of my disasters. This is when I knew I'm not a baker, I'm just a cook. I was about to say cooker, but anyways, like a so yeah, here comes Snow White. So I'd recommend you stirring your mixture with like a whisker before like doing the electric mixer. But I'm not a baker, I'm just learning. Mixed everything up, and then I used the spray and cook spray to like base my skotlelikinyana tonton tray, casserole dish. I am using a casserole dish, by the way, and I just added the mixture. And then I just pata. I don't know how to call this, but people usually say when you do this, it takes out the bubbles within the cake and don't. I'm feeling that this casserole dish is small and the mixture is too much. So it might end up making a cake, but we still call it Malva pudding. Added the whole casserole dish to the oven. I preheated the oven for like I could say 10 minutes. I don't know if that was too much. But I'm just a girl learning how to bake, trying to make the vlog also like interesting with inviting different segments. So those were the temperatures and the minutes. And then we're just going to make the sauce so that we just pour over the Malva pudding. So I used milk, butter, and sugar for this recipe. So your role as a baker would just be to be stirring this. I stirred it for like 3 to 4 minutes on low heat, and then cake, just as I had thought. But anyways, poured over the mixture. Guys, it's still Malva. It's still Malva. It looks like Malva Ibilan once you've added the mixture. And then I did the cutting. The cutting might not be straight, but we don't judge. We just taste, guys. That's the whole aim. So we're just gonna add like our custard, as you can see, it's a simple recipe. Like anyone can do it. But anyways, I hope you guys are still enjoying the vlog. I hope I'm not yapping too much. Food vlog. Me talking too much is a sign that I need to be consistent. And then we start with our presentation skills, guys. So I'm just gonna play the music, and then yeah. Then for presentation, I just added like strawberry, custard, and blueberries. The cheapest option you can get this for is like, you see, when you go to Checkers, Pick and Pay, the fruit salad section, no way you study fruit for your decor, because in sales economy, things are not looking good. So you just go away your options, like a spoon won't hurt of each, and probably be like less than 50 rand, especially from like Checkers Hyper. Welcome to the final part of the vlog. So this part is like the easy part, guys. The star of the show is obviously going to be the Denny Alfredo pasta sauce. I'm using chicken, onion, this pasta, salt, and oil. So yeah, this is like an easy recipe. I think everything in this vlog was easy. And then spice wise, I'm just gonna use the paprika and the raja. I mixed these two rajas. It was the purple one and I think the yellowish box ntontoni. In a pan, I poured my oil and spices. My day ones know that this is how I start my pot. I always start with the oil and spices. These are the two spices, raja, that I've mixed, and my paprika. And then I'm just gonna stir them all together. Make sure they don't burn if using this method. And then after like mixing for like a good minute, I added my onion and garlic. I forgot to mention that I was going to add garlic. So kind of fry, I can mix before adding my chicken. Once I was happy with how crunchy the onions were, it was cooked, I added in my chicken. Fry, and then while like frying this up in a separate pot, I added like hot water, salt, and oil. So this will be the pot for our spaghetti. So this kind of pasta is tagliatelle pasta, Italian trapa, but yeah, that's the type of pasta. Basically you just cook it like normal pasta, like as I've been showing you guys. I just don't know like what would be the right estimate for you guys, but I just say cook like normal spaghetti, but don't overcook. So emphasis on don't overcook. I cooked mine for like 12 minutes. So with the chicken, I just added salt and garlic butter. I'm a huge fan of garlic butter. And then here I took a little bit of water because I always see people adding like pasta water to their, main ingredients. So I just added like a little bit of water while having it like still fry up. And then the star of the show is Alfredo pasta sauce. I added this. This pasta sauce does have like my little mushrooms inside. So if you're not a mushroom fan, I do not recommend. But I still say it tasted good. So you're just gonna pour it over like your chicken. And stuff like that. And then you're just gonna let it simmer for like 3 to 5 minutes on low heat until you're satisfied. And then mixing up everything. So because I wanted to add in the pasta into the same pot, I had to like transfer the pasta sauce and the chicken into like a bigger pot. So as you can see, it's much deeper. Then I just added the pasta, and then I'll just be mixing everything up together. You can add like your Parmesan cheese or your cheddar cheese or your mozzarella cheese, depending on how creamy you want it to be. But that's optional. I just did what I had to do. Then the final stage is obviously the presentation stage. I hope you guys did enjoy watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. But very soon, there's more segments coming onto this channel where I might just resign from the cooking because Rena Ali engage, level. But see you guys in the next video. Love you lots. Bye guys.